Today, I will present the information about the northwestern China and Nanjing University. So my topic is ecology and culture in northwestern China. This map indicates the distribution of arid and semi-arid areas in the world. So as indicated in this map, in China, so northwestern China, so most of the regions are located in the arid and semi-arid areas. So the northwestern China is the most featured by the water deficit and the food security in the known history. So this map of China, so we can say is the Nanzhou is a city, is a special place, is surrounded by the three plateaus. This is Qinghai Tibetan Plateau, and this is the lowest plateau, it is the Asian Plateau, and this is the Xinjiang Mongolia Plateau. So Nanzhou University is surrounded by three plateaus, so have the multicultural features, characteristics. So this place, there are more than 50 minorities. As you know, in China, the total number of minorities is over the 56, but here we have the 52 minorities. Nanjing University is the main gate of Nanjing University. So it's one of the top universities in China, and the dryland ecology and geography and the grassland science, and these disciplines are among the top disciplines in the Chinese universities. So this I need to introduce the North Plateau first. After that, we can talk about the Qinghai Tibetan Plateau, and that is cold, and the high latitude the plateau. So the North Plateau is the 640,000 square kilometers. So this the areas is equivalent to mid-size the country. So in the known history, that place, the North Plateau, is because it's no precipitation and the cold weather, so they influence the grain production. So this food security is always the big problem. And so this is the topographic, the characteristics. So this indication that showed us, so the agriculture production here is focused on to connect the rainwater and the store water into soil and cultivate the crops. So the maize, wheat, potato, and some others. So in the ancient times, so these areas, because there is encountered the serious the soil erosion, particularly during the summer, the heavy rain and sudden rain. So they happened frequently and caused the loss of the surface soil and caused the infertility and no fertility and caused the no productivity. So the local farmers try to go to the top, the hilltop, and reclaim more lands and turn the natural lands into farmlands to harvest more food. So this is bigger problem because the more reclamation and cause the more serious the water and soil loss, erosion. So erosion that cause no fertility cause the no productivity. So this is the long term the history in the northwestern China for dryland agriculture. So this is the records in the Dadiwan County in Tianshui City of Gansu Province. This is a typical the landscape for the semi-arid areas. So in the long history, our ancestors and try to connect the rainwater and use the rainwater for agricultural production. So this is the keynote to progress, I need to say, because these areas they have the evidence, and according to the records, the evidence, the establishment is dated back to 8,000 years ago. As you know, China has a good history over 5,000 years. And this is the evidence for dryland agriculture for our ancestors, and they can extend our history from 5,000 to 8,000 years. So this landscape to indicate our ancestors where they used the slope topograph and connect the water and store the water in the small stream and connect the water and store the water into the big the container, and this is the establishment. These structures established with clay, because the clay where the texture will be very helpful to contain the water and conserve the water, and the water can be used for everyday life, for the agricultural production, for the supplementary irrigation. So this is the evidence for about 8,000 years ago. So this is unused from the Tianshui city. So in all the ancient times, the dryland agriculture have been developed, and this is very smart, and is also very productive, and it can solve the problems for the water use for the everyday life and the agriculture production. So this is keynote activities in the North Plateau. So over last decades in the North Plateau, so we have developed the rich farming system with last technology, because the hilly and the gully areas, this is the main features of the North Plateau, because these areas is the summers, the heavy rain will cause serious the rainwater and the soil erosion. So we need to have developed the smart ecological ideas. How we can they recover the ecosystem on the top of the mountain, because the top of the mountain is steep slope. So this area is very sensitive, is a fragile ecosystem. So human activities, for examples, the reclamation and also the agriculture, the farming activities must be stopped here. So must not eat the naturally reserve. So this is the is the platform for the managed ecosystem in the North Plateau. But at the terrace between two mountains, we have the established the efficient agriculture, and it can they use the water system to connect the rainwater, and use this is the establishment agriculture, and the rich farrow with plastic mulching and improve the grain yield and water use efficiency significantly. So, at the terrace between two mountains and the no slope areas, we can establish the efficient agriculture. So this is the ecological conservation at large areas, because in the North Plateau, the ecosystem is fragile, is located in the arid and semi-arid areas. But for the production must happen in the small areas, so productive activities at a small area. So this model proposed to boost ecosystem conservation in large areas, particularly in the fragile, infertile, hilltop, and steep slope lands. So on the other hand, we develop efficient agriculture in small but potentially productive areas. So they establish the efficient agriculture to try to produce as much food as possible. So this is in the history records. In the 2,000 years ago, our ancestors in the North Plateau have explored to the efficient agriculture. So this rich farrow with the rich farrow farming system. So the ground in the furrows. So this farrow they helpful to connect rainwater. So these Chinese ancestors had explored to invent the rich farrow farming technology. So this is happened in the North Plateau. So this rich farrow with plastic mulching is the best, the most efficient farming technology until now. So this technology, the farming system, have contributed to the food production and the people's livelihood in the North Plateau, because this technology is cheap, is low input but high output. So this is also easily operated. So I invited one of my students to talk about what is the advantages and background of this technology. So Su Dong, you can stand here and talk about this technology.
In this picture, we can see that the farmer is deeper in the furrow. We can see because the technology of ridge and furrow plastic mulch technology, the maize is growing very healthy, and the productive of it is more than others.
Yeah, different crops involved. You know, there's plateau, there's potato, there's wheat, there's maize, and this is the sowing date. You know, make preparations for the rigid furrow with plastic mulching. So this happened before sowing. So these principles of this technology is simple. So this is the small ridge and the bigger ridge. This is furrow. So the crop will grow in the furrows. These areas can use as the areas to connect water and store the water because the rainwater stored in the root zone of crops will be helpful to improve the water available in the soils. So, in the Asian countries, the technology is used as the rigid furrow with plastic mulching, and they can be used for continuous to 2 years. So this is the typical pictures to indicate this millennium leaf, the 1,000 years the leaf. This is the biggest step, in the dry agriculture. In the long histories, in the typical areas of the North Plateau, the plant, the maize can grow. So I invite my students to introduce the pictures. What is taken and how is the meaning? Okay.
This picture was taken in the Shitogo arid area in Gansu province.
So in the known histories, these areas, how about the annual precipitation in this area?
In this area, about
3,000 to 5,000 millimeters.
Yeah.
Okay, but local farmers, can't believe, the maize, can be used as main, staple food crops here, because this area is cold and dry, and if you don't use this technology, so the maize can grow well, the low harvest, as indicated here. This is the traditional planting technology. So this is flat planting because have encountered high evaporation and cause the serious water loss from the soil. So make the soil dry so the maize can grow well. So please forget. So this technology we have contributed. Have working together the colleagues from the African countries and the South Asian countries. For example, we have established the demonstration in Kenya. So these pictures were taken in the Machakos in the Kenya. Because Machakos is a typical semi-arid areas, with the annual precipitation of the 500 millimeters. It's also the semi-arid. So this is for maize, this is for wheat, and this is the colleagues from the Eastern University of Kenya, the colleagues, and also the Kenya Agriculture Center. So these areas that behind me, and this is applause, there's no harvest. Maize can grow, but no harvest because this is dry soil, and the water availability is not enough. So we can introduce this rich furrow plastic mulching and improve the green yard and water use efficiency, in maize and the wheat significantly. So the improvement percentage is over 300%. So this is bigger step for the Kenya the agriculture. If we try to introduce and extend this technology to whole Kenya, so Kenya's food production will be increased massively. So we can try to the transit, the Kenya from a hungry country to the good country with food, the export. So on the other hand, so for the waste plastic residue, so after harvest, we have cleaning all the waste residues from the field. So there's not any pollution is happened in the soil. So this is I have the teaching course for the young men. So this there is also the local colleagues. So this is have introduced for details. I have a teaching course. They show them how the principles, how to operate the system. And these activities is also happened in the Pakistan. So in the some area of Pakistan, we have the improved, have the changed a little bit about this technology. So this is the central part of Pakistan, Sargodha, because Sargodha is dry and also fire hot. So this high air temperature is vastly different from the northwestern China, and it's different from the Kenya. So we have the update the farming system. So the farming system have been improved, to change according to local soil and climate characteristics. So this picture they show the Simon Gnu from Kenya and Professor Solom, and organized a team to visit northwestern China. So they are surprised and also very happy to accept the farming system. So this is the ecosystem, agriculture ecosystem in the North Plateau. But next, we need to try to introduce the Hosi corridor, because this adds areas of the Qinghai Tibetan area. So Hosi corridor, these oasis agriculture areas, is the beautiful landscape. Have the snow mountain, have grassland, have desert. There is the oasis. So have a different the vast different landscape. So this is a place is also in the histories, is a base of food production in Chinese history. So military conflicts will frequently happens in ancient China, in ancient China. So because this is a good place to produce more food. So this is Qinyan mountain areas. So this Badan Garin desert, this Tengar desert. So this lowest plateau, this is the oasis is surrounded by two deserts, but this areas is very productive, and local people work hard, introduce the very good the ecosystem conservation strategy. So used the square grass block, and they established on the desert, because this mobile dune is happened in the desert. So from these areas, we can say there's a good ecosystem, and also this is another strategy to prevent mobile sun. On the other hand, the plantation, where we have this another strategy to stop the desert. So this is the current situation. because the local people have established the good oasis landscape and productive and also sustainability. So productivity and sustainability, so these they reshape the good landscape. So of course, the landscape is worth to be visited. But the agricultural ecosystem and ecosystem, the preservation strategy that can be also can be strongly recommended. This is the origin of the Yellow River. As you know, the Yellow River is the second longest river in China. So the orange of the Yellow River is it comes from the Qinghai Tibetan Plateau. So this a lot of tones what can be seen from the pictures and the original the places of the Yellow River. And the local people, particularly for the Tibetan people, to have established the good adaptation to climate change and food security. So they will show the interesting story, and this the different households and work together and organize a team, to manage the sheep and manage the grassland. So that's they improve the productive efficiency and also can save labor input. So this is currently they can share this information from the Tibetan people. So this is another the landscape in the Qinghai Tibetan the plateau. So this is Qinghai Lake. This is the biggest, largest the salt lake in China, and the second largest salt lake in the world. So this Sutong, did you visit the Qinghai the lake?
Yes.
Yeah. So could you share the information, the interesting stories about this place, It's good and have some tourists.
In Qinghai province, we can see the Qinghai Lake. The Qinghai Lake is the second largest salt lake in China. It has a very beautiful landscape, and so many people go to Qinghai Lake to visit its beautiful landscape.
Yeah. So did you enjoy this visit to Qinghai Lake?
Yes.
Okay, sit down. So these thousands of the visitors come here each year, because this is the typical the tourist site in northwestern China. Qinghai Lake is located in the southeastern part of Qinghai Tibetan Plateau. So this areas, is because the salt concentration in soil in the water is very high. So the peoples can swim in the soil water, so it can very easily to operate. And the local farmers, the people, Tibetan people, established the culture. This the hot spots, and this attract the wide concerns from the tourists. So most people and have the pray here and enjoy the spirit, the exercise. And this is the whole shore of the Qinghai Lake. So particularly in the summer, and a lot of the visitors come here. But in the winter, so the area is stopped. And the Qinghai Tibetan area, the plateaus, because this is cold and to some extent it's also dry, the regions. So the ecosystem management here is sensitive but must be high efficient, because this established the systematic the strategy. Because in the long histories, the conflict between the human activities and the social and economic development and the ecosystem conservation is strong. So how we can solve this conflict? How we can improve food production, the people's livelihood, and also develop the best ecosystem conservation is always the central topic. But now we have established a good the strategy. So the Chinese government have the released a series of policy to improve this local environments and also they try to boost ecosystem conservation. So this is fresh air and also is clean water. So this is the typical site of the Qinghai Tibetan Plateau. So on the other edge of the Qinghai Tibetan Plateau, to have this Dansha landform. So Dansha landform is outstandings in the geography and tourism. So each year, a lot of the tourists they visit here because this here is this landscape is most surprised for the particularly for the those areas. So this is so the student could you introduce how is the enjoyment of this place? Did you visit here? Can you introduce?
Yes. In this picture, we can see there. We can see the different colors emergence in the every mountains. Because attracting its beautiful landscape, many visitors go there to.
First, a lot of special elements contained in this soil and the mounted stones. Okay, sit down, please. So they have to provide the short information to all the people, students, young scientists from the world. So this course is also at the opportunities to provide the necessary information to help you to learn something from the northwestern China, learn something about the Nanjing University. So the Nanjing Universities, the advantages of disciplines is focused on the cold and dry disciplines areas. So if you join us, you can enjoy here's the good place and enjoy the good culture and enjoy the ecosystem conservation. So Chinese successful experience will be accepted by all of you. So the United Stations environment program the ULAB is the approach or efforts on ecosystem management and the agriculture production. Our experience can contribute to the food production and the ecosystem sustainability. So in the long run, sustainability and the productivity are always two aspects we need to respect. We need to pay efforts to establish the harmony, the existence for both aspects. So this is our the future, the efforts. So welcome to join us. We're looking forward to seeing you in Nanjing University. Thank you.
Thank you for that.